What's up, everybody? Chewy89 coming at you today, and we got a hell of a chapter to talk about today. I'm currently shook right now. I am shook right now. This week's chapter, I mean, they weren't lying. When people were talking about this week's chapter is going to probably, set people off in the internet and all that stuff, like it's going to be one of those chapters. They weren't lying. Man, this chapter, oh my god. Anyways, guys, if you guys can dislike below, dislike below, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on this chapter. This chapter has me pulling in several different directions now. Like it's just this chapter was, oh my god. So let's just start off the chapter with we're on the Sunny, right? And, last week's chapter, we had really cool stuff going on. We had Blackbeard going to Amazon Lily, trying to take Boa Hancock's Devil Fruit and all that stuff. And, what happened there. So we wrapped all that up. We now cut to the Straw Hat ship. I thought we were going to go to maybe Weevil or something like that, see what happened to the other warlord or whatever. I guess not. Maybe that's somewhere down the line, somewhere down the road. Who knows? But right now we're cutting straight to the Straw Hat ship, and it's good to see the crew interacting with each other again. They've been separated for so long and not on the Sunny for so long. And this time we have Jinbei, so it's more of a complete crew now. Granted, are we going to get one more? Remember, we don't know. We thought we were going to get Yamato, but it doesn't matter. The whole point is the crew's interacting with each other again, and it's really cool. And now Luffy's starting to get updates from the news. Robin's reading the news. He finds out that they're saying Sabo killed King Cobra. Of course, Luffy doesn't believe this at all. And, he knows it's bullcrap. We all know it's bullcrap. Something else happened to King Cobra, and they're just trying to cover it up and blame it on the Revolutionary Army because they're not against the kingdoms. They're against the world government. It's totally different. Now, if they start killing people if they start putting out that propaganda that they're killing kings, from these countries, and it's a totally different narrative about the Revolutionary Army. Maybe people won't join them or, whatever. They're not true to their cause, basically, the thing that they're fighting for, right? Or they're fighting against. So that's a play by the government to get, to get more people on their side, basically. So, of course, Luffy doesn't care about this. He does care about this, but he doesn't believe in it at all. He knows Sabo didn't kill King Cobra. That's ridiculous. And, of course, Robin confirms that, they're against the world nobles, not kings or anything like that. So they find out Vivi's missing. They found out Sabo, killed King Cobra, and then basically Sabo's on the run. And right now, Luffy's all over the place. He wants to go to Alabasta right now. And Zoro's like, dude, we can't go to Alabasta. It doesn't make any sense right now. You know what I'm saying? I understand we like King Cobra. He's dead. But look, we gotta move on, right? We gotta, if we can go there, we can. But right now, we can't. We can't do that. And he says, let's go to Mary Jo. And when Luffy said, let's go to Mary Jo, I was like, whoa, is that the next arc? We're going to Mary Jo like that? We're just going to straight up just go straight to the Navy HQ on Mary Jo and just go ham? That's the next arc? And of course, Zoro's like, we can't do that either. We got to keep a level head. You know what I mean? That's not an option, Luffy. You know what I'm saying? And then we find out who's in the barrel. It's freaking Caribou, who, by the way, is leaking information to somebody who we don't know about. I still think that's either Crocodile or Blackbeard. He knows that Pluton is on Wano. He's going to leak it to somebody at some point, so we don't know yet. But it's not Carrot, and thank God. I didn't want Carrot on the crew anyway. I was one of the people in the minority that didn't want him. Who wants Carrot inside the crew? I don't. That. No, get out of here with that. So, of course, they're all talking crap to each other right now. And, Sanji's all torn up crying about Vivi and she's nowhere to be found. And, Zoro makes a point to Luffy saying that, listen, when it came to Ace, we offered, hey, listen, do you want to go help him? You said no. He's got to make his own adventure and do his own thing. If he needs help and he calls us, we'll go to him. And of course, once Zoro said that, Luffy gave him that one of those Luffy looks that he's been having lately, which is pretty funny. He's like, yeah, whatever. I did say that, but whatever, right? I still want to help Vivi. You know what I'm saying? You're right, though. I did say that about Ace. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And then right now, Robin's reading the rest of the events, and Robin's like, listen, there's some other developments going on with people you know. Do you want to know about this? And things are escalating fast, and she's explaining the chain of events, the abolishment of the warlords, the form of the Cross Guild, and then Buggy becoming an emperor. And of course, Luffy knows this is bullcrap. He's like, Buggy's not an emperor, okay? That's bullcrap. And of course, Luffy doesn't want to hear about it, and Robin's reading the news and just taking it all in, right? Maybe fill in Luffy later with whatever. Honestly, I wish this chapter would have just been Robin listing out these events, basically. So anyway, that happens, and then, of course, Luffy's saying, Sabo's innocent, you know what I mean? He had a really strict upbringing and all that stuff, and he talked about him, Ace, and Sabo talking about their dream and all that, and we finally cut to this again, where Luffy tells his dream to the entire crew, and of course Oda cuts away. He doesn't want to tell us yet, right? He'll reveal it towards the end of what it is. Me personally, my headcanon, I just think Luffy wants to throw a giant party with the entire world. That's what I think. I think he wants to become the king of the pirates and then throw a giant festival all over the world with everybody celebrating at one time. That's what I think he wants, but it is what it is. We'll find out at some point in the future. We didn't find out here, but he told the crew, and everybody was laughing, and everybody was like, what the hell? And they're like, who are the people you told? And they're like, Shanks, but he started crying. And, of course, Robin's asking this question. He's like, I wonder why. And Sabo knows, Shanks knows, and that's it, right? There's pretty much no one else outside of everyone in the crew right now. And everybody was, like, laughing and like, you know what? That is you, man. You know what I mean? That is a wonderful dream, man. This is about you. And then, of course, they mentioned, look, we need to find the last poneglyph, which is true. They need to get the last one, and then they can go to Raftail and finish this whole thing off, right? And right now, no one's seen the last poneglyph in a long time. We don't know where it is. I personally think it was the one on Fishman Island, and it got moved. Where it got moved to, who knows? It was Whitebeard's territory. Maybe it got picked up and sent to one of his villages. I don't know. But I think that's the one it is, because in the flashback, when it was Roger and Odin, the road poneglyph was there in Fishman Island. And when they got to Fishman Island this time, there wasn't a road poneglyph. So there was one in Zou, one in Big Mom has one, and then Kaido had one in Wano. We don't know where the fourth one is. It's either on Elbaf or it's somewhere. Whitebeard put it somewhere. And who knows? No one has an idea. We still got to find out who the man with the burn scar is and all that stuff. So there's a lot we need to find out here. Now we cut to Navy HQ. And we finally cut to the phone call. And this part of the chapter blew me out. Like, literally. Like, explosions happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just insane what happened here. So we finally cut to the government. And they finally traced where Sabo is. And they're tracing the call. And they're saying that he's using a white transponder still. So he's not really trying to cover up like his phone call or anything like that. So they're tapping in. They're trying to find out where he is. And they find out he's in Lelouchia Kingdom. Lelouchia Kingdom, don't know much about it. I think I was reading up on Twitter and all that stuff. And they were saying something like in one of the cover stories, I think Ace was at Lelouchia Kingdom at some point and did something there. I don't think it's anything of significance. The only thing we find out here is one of the 8 nations that rebelled a few days ago from the world government or whatever happened. So they became their own nation. And of course, we cut to the girls saying they're like, "Oh, he's on Lelouchia," and we see Emu, playing with butterflies again, and the land wherever the hell he's at. And from there, we know he's there seeking refuge. And they're saying, and the girls say is like, "Wow, that's unlucky." And they're like, "Well, it's fate, right? He's whatever's coming to him, we're gonna go get him right now. We're gonna stop Sabo." And we find out why, though. See, this is where stuff gets really juicy and good. Okay, now we're finding out why they really want Sabo, right? It's either, and okay, so the reason why they really want Sabo is during this mission in Marijo. Okay, apparently Sabo, while he was there, saw Emu on the throne, the king of the world. So basically, he's telling Dragon, listen, I saw him. There is a king of the world. Whatever they're telling you is bullcrap. There is one person pulling the strings all over. Okay? There's one person doing it. It's Emu. Everybody's a peon. Everybody's a pawn. There is a king of the world. He saw Emu. So that's why the government really want to wipe him off the face of the earth. Because the way the world is working, remember, they told people whenever everybody goes to the reverie and they gather, they say there's a throne room and it symbolizes a time from way back where, whatever. There is no king of the world. There is no king. They want everybody to think that there's 20 kingdoms that have split up. There's a world government who monitors the entire thing, and that there's not one person in ruling everything. And that is completely false because there is one person ruling everything, and it's Emu, and he's running the entire show. So they don't want people to know that, because once people find that out, of course, they're going to be like, what the hell? Like, so this entire time, we're not really 20 kingdoms? Like, we're just ruled under your law? Yeah. You're ruled under Emu's law. So they don't want people to know that. They don't want people that one person's running the damn show. They don't want anything to, you know what I'm saying? Like, the world government's making money. They run the world. They do whatever the hell they want to do. And it's because of this. It's because of this facade that they've put up, right? So because of Lelouchia Kingdom, and this has got to be the hypest, scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. And right now, so as Sabo's telling them that there's a king of the world, and he says the throne room wasn't empty, the clouds go dark, and everybody starts looking up, and everybody's like, what the hell is going on, right? Everybody's like, what's going on? They cut their, okay, so here's the thing. The world government cut their surveillance, they cut the transponder snails, and what ended up happening was a giant beam or whatever the hell, it came from the sky. I don't know what it is, and I'm trying to make it out in the clouds or whatever. But whatever's in there, Emu has a Death Star, but it doesn't destroy planets. Okay, it destroys islands. But he has whoever Emu is has a Death Star, and is destroying islands like this. And you know what ended up happening was Emu goes to the map and crosses out Lelouchia Kingdom and says, "You no longer exist. And you will never be talked about ever again. No one will ever know you were ever around ever again. We're going to wipe it from the history books." It never happened. It was never here. And then Sabo was on this island. Now, me personally, I don't think if Sabo's going to die, this is how he's going to do it, right? There needs to be something a little more dramatic. I think maybe Sabo's a little injured. He possibly escaped, because right now he's seeing the beam coming down. He has enough time to maybe react and take off or protect himself or something. The other thing is, too, if Vivi is with Sabo, right? I mean, we're all speculating Vivi's with Sabo, okay? So it is what it is. So this has got to be the hypest thing I've ever seen ever. He has to have one. The only thing I could think of is that Vegapunk designed a weapon that could destroy islands, or he has Uranus, and this is what Uranus can do. So it's possible Emu, the world government, does have one of the ancient weapons, Uranus, and was able to destroy an island like this and wipe it off the face of the earth. Maybe this is what happened to God's Valley once everything happened, right? Maybe that's why it doesn't exist anymore. They just went there, you know what I'm saying? Rocks went there, did their thing, and the government, they fought and all that. Emu didn't want anything getting out from God's Valley. And he said, okay, Celestial Dragons, you all got to go. Everybody get the hell out of there. I'm wiping off the face of the earth. And that's probably what happened to God's Valley. And that's why it's gone. And that's why no one can ever find it, because it's just obliterated to the ground. And that's why no one will ever find it. And that's insane to think that Emu has a destructive, and it's not insane. It's actually makes sense. If one of the ancient weapons could do this, you want one of them. So I'm pretty sure the world government just held on to it for dear life, and this is how Emu's been able to maintain power. Or is this just a devil fruit power? But I don't think it's that strong. I don't think Emu has a devil fruit like this. I just personally think this is a weapon that was made back in the day, and it's possibly Uranus, and is able to destroy islands like this. This is what I'm thinking. So that's fine. That happened. So far, they're trying to talk back to Sabo. They can't get in touch with him. The transponder snails are gone, and we don't know what's going to happen from here. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Oda, what are you doing? You just flipped One Piece to like 100 in like a second. Like he's got the on switch now. He's ready to go. He's like just everything. Bang, 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 bang. Like all of this stuff is just insane. Like, he's been holding on to this for years, man. And, like, he's finally able to put it to paper. And this is insane. So we cut to the Sunny, and now we're heading towards their destination where their next island's going to be. We notice that the climate is rather snowy, and, you know, the waves are kicking up a little bit. And now we're starting to see Jinbei's usefulness being the helmsman and understanding how to sail in these seas and all that. It's about time someone could right the ship the right way. And, of course, you know, Chopper being Chopper is heading out to the deck, and everybody's wearing their clothes because it's cold and all that stuff. And they see this giant, they call it a warm eddy. Now, I don't know what a warm eddy is or whatever, but the climate, there's like this giant thing just shooting out from the sea all the way up to the sky. And, you know, it's like a mixture between like hot and cold water. I mean, you know, the climate, you know, hot and cold weather. And, you know, of course, everybody's noticing it. It's like, oh my God, it looks crazy. And then they could hear somebody inside this warm eddy, right? And they're like, who the hell is in there? We hear somebody that they're trapped. We have to help them. And of course, you know, Chopper gets blown off the ship or whatever. And Zoro goes and cuts the warm eddy right in half. And as that's happening, like I said, Chopper gets blown off the ship. And then from there, you know, I think they got back Chopper. I don't know what happened. They went and grabbed Chopper. They got him back. And out comes Jewelry Bonnie dressed as a kid outside of the warm eddy. Now, here's what's interesting. Jewelry Bonnie was there at the Reverie while everything was going on. Got out. There's a possibility Jewelry Bonnie saw everything, knows what happened, okay, and is going to tell this to Luffy, and they're going to figure something on. That's probably where they're heading next. Now, did Jewelry Bonnie see Emu? Probably not. Did Jewelry Bonnie see who killed Cobra? Yes. I think that's a possibility. I think she might have had something to do with Vivi being missing or whatever. Because right now it seems like to me either if Sabo's not dead, there's no way. Maybe he is. I don't know. But that's if he is dead, wow. I mean, that's what a way to kill a character. Just wipe him off the face of the earth with some weapon. Like, it's insane. But, you know, I think Jewelry Bonnie is going to dictate where the story goes next. And we're going to find out what a hell of a chapter. Like, the world government has a Death Star. We find out Luffy told the dream finally to his crew. We don't know what it is still. I still think it's a big giant festival. And Jewelry Bonnie is now on the ship. And we also find out Caribou's on this stupid ship, too. Someone's got to deal with him fast. That idiot's going to spoil everything. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Take care. This chapter was just bonkers. Like, absolutely bonkers. Oda, what are you doing? This chapter is just amazing. Like, it's really, really good. Keep it up. We don't have a break next week. Thank God. If this chapter ended on a break, do you want to know, like, the One Piece community is going to go nuts this next week with content, right? I might even think about doing something just watching this chapter, like, and just talk about what I think is going on here with the world government, even because this is insane. Like, this if this doesn't blow your mind, I mean, dude, the amount of power Emu has is through the roof, and it just your head goes in a million different directions now of things that have happened, like with God Valley being missing, with now Lucia Kingdom just not being around anymore, and just wiped off of mats probably. Like, is that what happened in God's Valley? Like. And is this Uranus? Is this the power of Uranus? Or is this a devil fruit power? Or is this just Emu, right? What is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Like, I'm just like, this is crazy. And I love every minute of it, guys. Thank you guys very much. Like I said, subscribe to the channel. Like, dislike, comment down below. Give me your thoughts on this chapter. Please, please, please tell me your thoughts on this chapter. And let's have a conversation because I want to talk this out with people. This is just bonkers. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Take care. I'll catch you on the next one.